right, here with Coach. Another football season is coming amongst us. Coach, how excited are you every time this time of the year comes around?
It's like Christmas again. It's August, second week of August rolls around, and just get really excited because you get to be out here with these guys and grind, and you love coaching as much as playing, and we certainly do. And these guys have great energy, so they make it easier for me to want to come out here every year and work hard.
That definitely. I know as a coach, every year you have turnovers, you lose a lot of great players, but then with losing great players is a chance for players to step up and get their names known. Just first, talk about just losing the experience you had with Juan and Vic leading your offense. Those two guys, what they meant to your program.
Yeah, and obviously you can't underplay the what Juan and Vic meant to the program, right? Two guys like that high caliber player that going through the program at the same time, and they were obviously a huge part of why we were successful the last couple of years, right? Their leadership and their play on the field. So obviously you miss them no matter what. That's a huge void to fill. 2,400 yards for Juan plus and 20-something touchdowns plus Vic's 17 touchdowns, right? Both sides of the ball and their leadership, right? But again, like you said, it's the opportunity now for these younger guys to step into a role. And I think there were a few guys that were under the radar because of the success that Juan and Vic had. A couple of our juniors, now rising seniors, had some big years that kind of got left under the radar. So now they have a chance to really step into the full spotlight. So I'm excited for them for that.
Yeah, especially Jovan. He was kind of one of those guys. He made a lot of big plays, but it was in like sparing parts. It did impact the game, but it was like he'll have him here and there. It'll kind of go under the radar. But for him, he talked about now he's going to get even more opportunities to showcase like his all-around game because he knows pretty much every position on offense. How do you see that for him this season going for him?
Yeah, Jovan was, he was the team player, perennial team player last year. He was in a position where he was pass blocking, helping in pass protection a majority of the time. He threw the ball so much with Juan and having Vic, Mornell, and Chanel out there at receiver with Andrew. And he sacrificed his body for a lot of that and didn't get much credit for that, right? We saw that in film, but in the grand scheme, he didn't receive that credit because he was in the pass pro. And now he has a chance with a little more balanced offense. He has a chance to showcase that he can run the ball, and he certainly can. So I think it's a great opportunity for him to really peak as a running back / scat receiver. Maybe a little bit of quarterback here and there too, right? And he can do all that, and I'm really excited for him to be able to be out there in the spotlight.
Yeah, and it's not easy replacing an all-state, all-conference, MVP caliber quarterback like Juan. But you did say you have a young quarterback who's out right now, but then you got Chanel filling in at quarterback. Just how excited are you to teach the next crop of quarterbacks that you have, just to get them acclimated and all that?
Yeah, I got spoiled with Juan. He made it easy the last couple of years. He was really the coach on the field, and he was able to pre-snap and post-snap read. And it was like half the time I just knew what he was thinking. He knew what I was thinking, and it made it so much easier. But now, a young quarterback, he'll be back in a few weeks. He's eager to learn. He worked the entire summer really hard at quarterback camps. He was at all of our 7-on-7s. You always see him working out, throughout the city in different places. So, he's going to be a great player for us. We're really excited to have him. Until he gets back, we're going to fill in with our athletes. We're lucky enough and privileged enough to have guys who can step in and really not miss a beat. Playing the quarterback spot because guys have been in our system to understand the game. And that's something we built as a program, the football IQ of our players, and that's going to be proven in these first few weeks when we roll out some different guys doing different things and having some fun with it. It's we adapt and we adjust and we overcome.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Mornell see some quarterback last year when Juan got hurt? There was that period where you had some of those guys in that quarterback because Juan did miss like a couple games.
Yep, exactly. When Mornell took over for 2 weeks, in that time frame, did a great job. He had no prep work for it. Our young guy wasn't ready yet, and Mornell kind of knew the ropes, and we adjusted our game plan. Mornell stepped in and did a great job in that spot. So again, it's another option we have. Throwing athletes out there, and our guys are willing, which is great, willing to play whatever position will help the team and do whatever it takes to help the team. I can't ask for any more than that from the guys.
Yeah. What as a head coach, what were your takeaways from that game against Hull in the state championship game at Gillette Stadium? Every loss there's learning lessons. You would like to win the game, but what was some of the lessons that you learned in that loss in the state title game?
Yeah, I think experience matters. Those guys had been there the year before, and I think even as coaches, like we'll be honest, we were a little bit awestruck as well being in that situation. And I don't think Hull was. They were they had been there, they had done that. It wasn't the lights weren't too bright, and I think for us it took us a full half almost to get our bearings. And you saw that. And then in the second quarter, we were driving down the field. We had an interception. We scored a touchdown. So it took us a quarter and a half-ish to kind of get back on the level playing field with Hull. And we played to a 0-0 tie after that. So we were in that game, and they didn't let up. So it was like nothing changed. Just we kind of got our bearings. So I think it's just making sure we understand that there's no light too bright for us anymore. There's no stage too big, and that if we play our football, the way we can play, we can play with anyone in Division 8 or anyone on our schedule.
Yeah, it definitely. What is kind of going to be the identity for this team? Which area do you feel is your strongest that is really going to help you guys when you're in those games where it's 7-7 or it's a 1-score game late in the fourth quarter? What do you think the area of your team is its strongest for those type of situations?
That's a good question. I think we have a real team vibe, right? And I also think there's a bunch of guys in this team that want the ball in that spot. Where in years past, there might not have been that guy who wants the ball in that spot, right? Or Juan wanted the ball, but he had to dish it out to somebody. It wasn't always him able to make that play because someone didn't get open. Or we missed a block or something like that in a big play. But now I think we have, because of last year and what they did, this year we have that guy or guys who in that spot, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, whatever, they want the ball in that spot and they want to make that play. And that's kind of our mantra this year is like, who's going to be that guy? Or the guys to make that happen. I think we're lucky enough to have a few guys who want that opportunity, and I think that's going to help us in those big stress point situations.
Yeah, definitely. And opening the season once again against St. Mary's, another game against those guys coming from last year's game. I mean, just how happy are you that the two schools were able to just do it again this upcoming season?
I think it's great for the city. I think it's great for both programs. I mean, for me as a newer coach, 7 years in the program, playing a team that's been around for a long, long time and very successful, I think it's proven that we've arrived, that we're able to play with St. Mary's. In our first few years, we probably couldn't compete with them at all. And now they're on the schedule, hopefully every year, opening up Manning Field, on a Friday night. And I think it's great for our program to say, hey, we're playing with one of the best teams, not just in the city, but in the state. I mean, St. Mary's is a perennial powerhouse, obviously Super Bowl champion. And Coach Driscoll is a fantastic coach. He's got that program well-oiled, every year. So I think it's just great that we're now on that same level where we're competing, and St. Mary's has to prepare for us also, right? And I think that's great for our guys, and I think, like I said, great for the city. Just the more times you can play a Lynn team, the better. And we end the season with Lynn Tech, and we start the season with St. Mary's, and that's a great way to have a football season for us.
Yeah, definitely great, because that weekend, I believe everybody's playing home that weekend. Yeah. We got 2 home games Friday, 2 home games on Saturday. It's going to be a great weekend. For you personally, what is some, as a head coach, what are some of the areas that you feel that you've grown within the last, from the time you started here to this point in your career as a head coach of Kipp?
Yeah, I think every year you get a little better zooming out a bit as the head coach and seeing things from 10,000 feet and what's good for the entire program versus zoning in on a position or calling the offense or just your team in general. Now we've come to the point where we're drivers of culture in the school, right? Our football players are the leaders in the hallways, and that's something that's taken a long time. That's something I'm really proud of. Like, our guys are driving positive culture within the school, and getting into great colleges to play football, right? Yep. Trinity and Middlebury and Hobart, Vic's over at UMass Amherst, Union College. So we have guys playing at great academic institutions too. So as a football coach, I take great pride in the fact that now we're not just a football team with success, we're a football program with success on and off the field. I think every year, if I can get better or we can get better at that, then we're doing what's right and good for kids.
Yeah, and how also is it good that you're able to keep your staff? There's not too many changes on your staff. You still have the same culture as it was. Just how good is that just for those other players, just the cohesiveness of the coaching staff to still be intact throughout the years? Because some might, you see some areas, some coaches get offered other jobs, some of the assistants, which is, because it's kind of like why you get into coaching for, to get a head coaching job. But how good is it for you to have that cohesiveness with your staff?
Yeah, I mean, continuity is always important at the high school level, right? And the kids get comfortable. We build relationships with kids. So having the same guys here for 3, 4, 5, now 7 years with Coach Grimaldi, our AD, it helps the kids because now they're comfortable with the coaches and they know what's expected, right? And our guys do a fantastic job. Most of our coaches are in the building. We have one coach who's a firefighter in Swampscott, but other than that, we are in the building with the kids too, so we see them every day inside the classroom, outside the classroom, checking in on them. And it's a cool thing because they see the kids in the building, outside the building, and we built that relationship. And I talked to the guys who graduated 2, 3, 4 years ago because they've known me from not just teaching, also coaching, and same with all of our coaches. So I think it's a real culture builder for us as well.
Yeah, and these young men too. I know Mornell, he always has a chip on his shoulder. I know last year, whenever I talked to him, he told me he had a chip on his shoulder because he got overlooked. But is that what kind of makes him such a good player? Because he always goes on the field with something like he feels like he has something to prove each game. Is that what makes him so special?
I think a lot of things make him special. That's one of the reasons. He's a great kid. Great student in the game, and he's a gamer. You want to talk about one of the kids who wants the ball.
Yeah,
he wants the ball, right? And he'll do it however we need to do it. A quarterback, playing running back, playing receiver, punt return, kick return, right?
Yep.
Whatever position he can be in to get the ball and make a difference, he wants that spot. And I think he felt overlooked last year, and I think that if that's the driving point for him for success this year, then that's going to help him get there. And he's getting some college looks already, and then he's well deserved. Even playing, I'll use it in quotes, second fiddle to Vic, but they were really a tandem. I think this year he's just primed for just a tremendous breakout on both sides of the ball, or all three phases of the game, really.
Yeah, definitely. And not a lot of upper class, not a lot of seniors on your team.
I think we have 8 seniors.
8 seniors.
Yep, 8 seniors. For about 40 kids in the team, so we're pretty evenly spread out between 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay.
But 8, I think 8 seniors this year, and all of them will have an impact. And all of them have been here, and it's going to be an exciting year.
Yeah, definitely. September 8th, 5 p.m.
That's it.
St. Mary's, Kipp Academy. Everybody should be here. Be here all weekend. There's 4 games going on Friday and Saturday. All 4 Lynn teams. All Lynn teams are playing at home that weekend. So come out, check it out. Coach,
Appreciate you, man.
always a pleasure talking to you.
All right.
We're out of here.